All right, welcome to round 14 of Grand Prix Seattle, day 2, penultimate Swiss round. We are in the middle of the death pod.
Oh, man.
So X2 pod, 8 players. There you see Ian Bartolomei. On the right, you see Jackie Lee. Both players came into the draft at X and 2 without a loss and nary a draw to go. Right?
Nail biters here. Wow. Yeah, so both of these players are up against it.
They currently sit 7th and 8th in the standings.
Looks like Ian's going to go to 6 here.
One of them is going to have to fight against the winner of Tan Nguyen and Owen Turtwald.
Okay.
Yeah, that could affect your decision.
Brian Long still alive, 33 points as well, by the way.
Glad to hear it.
Eric Froelich, 33 points. Now look at this. Look at this scrum at 33. So, start with Tuan Nguyen, Owen Turtwald, Robert Smith, Ian Bartolomei, Jackie Lee, Brian Wong, Eric Froelich, Michael Jacob, Ben Stark, James Nguyen, possibly related to Tuan, Paul Rietzel, Jesse Welke, John Finkel, Samir Merchant, Nate Thrasher, don't know him, but his name is awesome.
That is awesome.
And Joel Barnes, who I mentioned, playing only his 4th or 5th tournament of his career. And right under that, Craig Wesco, 31 points, hoping for some lucky breakers. Yeah, John Laux lost last round, I saw.
I see that. I was just looking for his points.
Yeah, he lost last round.
Unabashedly rooting for John. I can't help myself.
I mean,
I love the guy. You can't not.
It looks like Ian's going down to 5.
It does. One thing I noticed about Jackie when I played against her, she's very diligent about taking notes about everything that happens in the game. I'm perhaps a little too lazy to do that. But she will.
Oh, you are?
She has a little system to say who went first. She can just write down
I
cards.
do the same thing.
Arrow thing. Do you do that?
Yeah, I do.
She'll write down what cards you play. Like it's something that I should probably do. And
It's a little trick I learned.
I just try to remember it all. Works really well until I forget something. He doesn't look too bothered at the moment. He's just sitting there calmly. You can win on a mold of 5. Start going down to 4 is when things start getting hairy. All right, he's going to keep his 5. Jackie's going to lead off the Forest. She looks like she's going to be green-red. I got to chat with her briefly about Wild Hunger.
Oh, flipping. It's flipping.
It's what?
Scorn Villager. It's transforming.
You said it right when she did. That's very good. All right, so now some very silly things can happen. She's going to attack for 2 first. Oh, man. What are we going to see, a 5 drop? It looks like a 4.
4 drop. All right, Festa high board.
Sure.
But still.
That's fine. She's got 5 power on the board to 3 lands. And we are going to see a double-faced card. It's a Screeching Bat.
So, I mean, Ian's someone who shows up. He's a legacy player in the Star City scene. Does a lot of Star City Opens.
Okay.
Writes about Magic. His name comes up. He's like, does some stuff for TCG Player.
Oh, all right. I'm not familiar with him, but maybe he's not active on Twitter. I know everybody. So Jackie's just going to go ahead and attack with both, and Ian's going to take it. I see a near Eve Stalker.
He finished the top 128 at Pro Tour Dark Ascension, actually.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. He played mono green.
Well, that explains why he looked so stoic while mulliganing into 5.
Yeah.
Just wasn't that worried about it. He's going to calmly attack for 2. Knows he's not going to block. Jackie currently has 9 power on the board. She's just going to go ahead and send everybody in. The Sea Kite's coming, and I assume that Jackie saw that one coming, but just wasn't that worried about it. I think she has a Wild Hunger too.
Yeah, and this is where you see that Wild Hunger.
She can flash it back and I think just win. Right? That's 5. If she flashes it back, it's 8. He would take 5.
4,
that's 9, 10,
7.
11. Nope, so she can't. Or 12. So you put him to 1. So she can decide if she wants to do it. Putting him to 1 here and having 3 creatures to his.
Looks like does she have Burning Oil? Could she also just Burning Oil that and trample over for all that damage?
I don't see that. Oh, in her hand, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she could do that.
But instead, she's gonna. So that's 6.
Because all that
10. Trample over.
And she played 2 spells that turn, so we're going to transfer.
Goes the in at 1, 2. Yeah, scoops.
Oh, an arrow.
She likes Wild Hunger.
Yeah, I mean,
She played it against me.
it's really good.
She also had a Hell Rider.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I had a Hell Rider too.
That might be a constructed deck.
Yeah, it could be.
Wild Hunger?
It's a lot of damage.
Yeah, but I did misplay it.
If it costs 2.
I mean,
it would be too good for limited, but
that'd be awesome. Just like toggled casting costs.
yeah. I bet you R&B wishes they could do that
Toggle.
sometimes.
Here's what this costs when you play it in a 60. If you have more than 40 cards in your deck,
Well, if you started the game with
more than
60 or more or something, yeah, that'd be great. I'm going to have to talk to Aaron about this. And I just broke it.
yeah, because that's not clumsy at all.
They could use double face
And
cards.
it wouldn't matter to me, man. I'm playing 60 in both formats.
Wow. I wish he was joking.
Man, I only did it once.
And you won.
Normally I stick to 45 or 46 cards.
45, or you limit yourself
Yeah.
to the Quint Becker. The pinnacle of restraint, Brian David Marshall.
Have you ever played more than 40?
No.
Never.
I don't remember offhand ever playing more than... I've never done it... Like, I've never done it because I just couldn't make that last cut or anything.
Right.
Maybe if I had some weird reason, boarding up a bunch against a mill deck or something, but I don't think I've ever, game 1 presented a deck that was more than 40, unless it was 60.
I'll play this.
I've been playing a lot more construction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been a big
I
fan of
actually
Modern.
did mind trick some
Took them a while to kind of tweak it and get it right, but jeez, it's good now.
What deck do you like?
Like the Rug Delver deck. That's my style. Get down a couple of efficient beaters and then just protect them and or burn my opponent out. That's the way I like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do choose to draw. So it's like, yeah,
I played in a
and then he was
PTQ
like,
a
yeah,
couple of
you
weeks
should
ago in
probably think about
Portland,
it, though. And I was like,
and
yeah, of course. And then
I
he
saw
figured it out.
That's awesome.
And it was great because
5 or
the
6
second
different
game,
decks.
he was like,
The format is wide.
yeah, the tempo that you
Highly
have really
recommend
only
it.
mattered toward the end of the game.
And I spend most of my time
Burning
drafting,
Engines
but
came out with, like,
you gotta do
silent
something in between
departures and
draft
stuff.
rounds, right?
And then,
I have a Spider
he was
Spawning
like,
standard deck in my bag.
Do you?
right?
Yeah.
I brought my
Yeah.
blue black
One of
deck.
my
We
top-
can
We
that was
should definitely
tempo.
play.
battle.
All right, I'll draw.
So I shouldn't try to mill you out. Is that?
I mean, you should definitely try to mill me.
I have
mean,
drawn yards in that deck too. I haven't updated it yet. I need tragic slips in there.
Yeah, I have not updated mine yet either.
You know,
We can
actually,
play pre-Dark Ascension standard against each
awesome.
other, just to show how in touch we are with Instructor. Or we could just do
Last
it.
time it was bad, I guess.
Yeah, so Ian Bartolomei had he got 30 points at Proto Dark Ascension. So that's 10 wins. 10 wins. I
Oh,
think,
yeah, okay.
60 rounds. Six of his wins came in standard.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
So he 4-2'd the draft portion?
Yeah,
Is that what that
yeah,
means? Okay. Very good. At the Pro Tour level, too.
Yeah.
We are sufficiently randomizing our decks here, and looks like Ian's going to be on a play, which is... Didn't say anything.
What's going on there? What's happening?
Oh, she just dropped a card on her lap.
Oh,
but
okay.
It didn't flip over or anything, so.
Didn't what?
No, come on! My heart stopped when you said, oh, he got me. I thought, wait a minute. She's just going to pile shuffle for good measure here.
Someone's noticing that Shadmad on Twitter's noticing that Jackie Lee just pretended to sideboard, that she took a land off and then put it back in.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
notice
so that's actually somewhat standard operating procedure for a lot of players who just want to.
Like, if you just do that every time, then they never know if you've got it. Yeah.
When I play Constructed, I actually take my whole 15-card sideboard and just shove it in.
You do?
And then take out 15 cards.
I need to
Even
get
if
in
it's the
that
same
habit.
15 cards.
Yeah, I need to get in that habit. I didn't think it mattered until recently.
I don't know that it matters. It's just,
It does.
Yeah.
At the Modern Tournament, I realized.
I just want to do the same thing every time.
Yeah,
I just want to just present like this really kind of uniform.
I like that. We've got land. A lot of land going. And we're probably going to see the
Screeching back,
Yeah. We've got Crossway Vampire for no immediate effect here.
It's just a Goblin Rough Rider.
Yep. Okay, and Ian did hit his second swamp, so on his next upkeep, he'll have the option of transforming his bat into a big vampire if
You
you'd like.
hate how often have you ever done that?
I do it very rarely. But I always think about it. I'm always
Sure.
aware, because when you do, it's very powerful, but I rarely do it. And the Sea Kite Strikes, again, that guy has just come in,
Woo!
done a whole lot of work.
I got a 5/5 myself.
And looks like Jackie was expecting that. She saw it in game one, so she probably knew it was
Yeah.
coming. And was very happy to get a 5/5 draw. And Ian looks like he just snapped her his card. I don't think he was even considering it. He probably has a lot of things to do in his hand currently. He wants to just keep beating down. See Ben Stark in the background here. Playing. And that looks like,
Wrong one.
well, oh, I see. Okay, so we Claustrophobia, and then we played a Drainage System. That's a good turn for him. Depending on what Jackie does here, he can start considering it, transforming.
Five.
Didn't see a Wild Hunger in her hand. It's not currently doing anything. So, looks like she's trying to decide. I think she's got the. I can't remember the name.
Looks like
but
she's
it's
got
the
Nearheart.
rare- She got a near hit stalker, but she's also got
The Moandrin
werewolf-
Shaman?
Yes, that one. And it looks like she's just going to run that out, and she's left green up so that she can protect it. So it's a 3/2 that when it transforms becomes a 5/5. And whenever an opponent plays a spell, they take
It's
two
a
damage.
pyrostatic pillar, right?
What does that do?
Whenever an opponent plays a spell, they take
They
two
take to 2, yeah. So the way that works, though, is pretty cool because it's a 5/5. It's just huge. But the other
Yeah,
thing
you
is
wanna
they're
transform
gonna
it.
they're going to have to take 4 damage to transform it back. I mean, even if they do, you're still pretty happy. This is the shaman. It looks like it's going to grasp a phantom, and she is going to.
She's gonna protect that
disallow
with-
this
yep.
with the Ranger's Guile. I like this.
But he could do that again the next turn if he has one land. He's got 7 mana on the table with the
Oh, he
Deranged
does,
Hunter.
you're right.
Right, Deranged Assistant.
Yeah. But so he is going to go ahead and get in. And Jackie's got a decision on her turn. She has a Near Heat Stalker, so she can use up her mana and play it.
I think she
She
knows.
can just say go.
She knows that is coming. I don't think she can afford to not.
Just keep
advance her
developing her
board.
board.
Yeah.
The other thing that can happen
She's
if
gotta
she
attack here.
decides not to is that he could have Think Twice,
Sure.
or Thought Scour or something, which could
Or
really
Dream
wreck her.
Twist. I mean, anything.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I think she's probably best to just keep on developing her
One
board.
heart.
Another good reason for her to do this is
Go ahead.
what I was just talking about is that she forces him to play 2 spells to transform the shaman back. But in this case, it would actually only be 1 if he does hit that land.
Right.
Because the shaman's not going to be in play anymore. So I like the stalker here. Are we on our upkeep, or has he drawn?
We're in his upkeep.
He's pondering whether to transform. On his end step, he made a mana.
Yeah.
That's why you see the island in his graveyard.
Yeah, he's gonna
Have a very large.
turn it around.
This is a play because you figure he has something in his hand that he can play then.
He didn't. He had an island. He had his 8th land.
Okay, so maybe that's why he wanted to make sure that if he did draw another land, well, but then he can still flashback. Because if he doesn't play a spell this turn, we know what's going to happen. I wonder if Jackie has a fling in her deck. That's a card I thought we would see more of this weekend, be kind of ending the game in a very quick fashion, but it hasn't been happening. It seems to go right into the red-green deck fairly well, especially when everybody's running stuff like Claustrophobia that you see here, things like Burden of Guilt, Bonds of Faith. Turning that into a direct damage spell for only 2. Vampire's coming in. So Jackie can block if she wants. The vampire will survive. The transformed vampire will survive, but she'll end up with a 5/2 on her side, which sets her up to potentially attack for 10. She does block. And we have a Snapcaster Mage come in, and it's going to target something, but not do it. He's just trying to make sure that the shaman...
So she did block and...
She did.
Yeah. And undie her vampire.
Yes. Which is actually pretty ideal for Ian here because he does have a 2-power guy. He can just... I think it'd be a perfectly fine trade here, Snapcaster for near 8-stock. But...
Yeah.
We have a Wild Hunger.
And what does it cost? It costs 7 to play it and flash it back?
Yes. 2 in a green and then 3 in a red. So she can only do the first half, but she's got 6 mana, so she has a great turn here where she can attack with her near heat stock. She can Wild Hunger it, and then she can follow up with a
Kessig Wolf.
Yeah. That's a pretty productive turn.
Don't you attack with both then, or no?
Well, I think that if she attacks with both, he might just put both of the creatures on the shaman.
Okay.
Then it dies. I mean, it's not the worst. Like she kills both of them. I'm not saying it's awful, but she might be valuing the shaman highly, or she might even just be thinking right now about exactly what we're talking about, which is how highly do I value this thing?
So this is penultimate round of the tournament, Swiss round. Also, the penultimate round in Death Pod.
Yes.
Right? This is the Death Pod.
Yep.
We have a Death Pod finalist.
So we know who the winner of this is going to be facing now?
Yes, we do.
Who is it?
The winner of this is going to be facing Owen Turtenwald. Owen Turtenwald defeated Eric Froelich this round and is the first Death Pod finalist.
So Owen Turtenwald just beat LSV and then
Eric Froelich, yeah. Yeah.
And we know why. His deck is great.
His deck is so awesome.
He's going to play it well.
Two-headed giant draft number 7.
Okay,
All right,
so
we flipped the shaman.
It looks like Jackie decided just to transform and just do nothing this turn.
Two-headed giant draft.
She didn't attack.
No attack.
Ready.
She just said, you know what? I'm going to just transform my shaman, and we're gonna get there next turn. Because she knew that she could transform it, and now Ian is in a position that's actually quite poor for him. I mean, right now, he wants to play 2 spells, and he can't. And if he does...
He doesn't really want to play 2 spells.
Right, that's the thing. I don't know what he has in his hand, but...
Oh, look at that. Is that a Scab Ruinator on top of his...
That does look like a Scab Ruinator. Now, I think he has 3 creatures, but I can't quite see.
I mean, in the glare, they all look like creatures. You know?
He might want to try that one on the
Yeah, I was
judge.
just going to say, hey, Judge, in this glare, can I just make these all creatures?
Okay, he's just going to go ahead and...
So he's going to take
flash
2.
that. Yeah.
He takes 2
Takes
from
2
the...
damage, yep.
Magic players in the 3 p.m. sealed event. There are 3
You see her writing down?
In card pool registration.
She's got like a log of
If
what
you have
happened
not
throughout the
finished
session.
registering your card pool, please raise your hand now.
Put him on top of
Players
the
in the 3 grand sealed event, if you have not finished registering your card pool, please raise your hand now.
So now what?
He took 2 damage from casting a spell with the backside of one. Yep.
SeaTac loses Vampire.
He's thinking about attacking with the Snapcaster. He also would like to block with it, so he's got to decide. And he's just going to go on the offense.
Send them all. Jackie's at 14. Well, she could.
She's taking, yeah, she's potentially taking 8 damage here. The assumption is that
You see
she's gonna
Magic
block this
Senior
one.
Director of R&D Aaron Forsyth watching. You see Eric Froelich looking to see who he faces in an alternate universe.
I see a Raptor peeking over his shoulder there as well.
This is a pod. People have been really paying attention to this pod.
Death Pod 2012 is a thing.
Yeah, the hell with pod 1. Half of them are going to the top 8.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
We already know. Okay, looks like she opted to just take the damage.
She took all of it, huh? She went
I
to
think
6.
Yeah.
She knows what she's drawing here.
I mean,
Like when you
was there
he's
any
tapped
reason
out,
why-
why
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 would
wouldn't
you
you
just
just
block?
eat the deranged
Yeah, I don't
assistant?
know why you didn't just eat it.
Wait, is there a reason for that?
Is there a land or a card in his hand that we don't know?
Oh, I mean, Rashad points out that maybe she doesn't want to turn on the Scab Ruinator.
I think her plan is to win this turn. He's at 15. She can get it to... No, I guess not.
She knows she's not
She knows
drawing a
what she's
land.
drawing. Yep. Ruinator is definitely a consideration here. I don't know how many... Like, if that's his 3rd creature to go in the yard or something, then it would be...
You see Raptor and Aaron sort of like doing a little analysis.
Yep.
Had a block the deranged assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. They high-five each other in the back.
Yeah, we're good.
Meanwhile,
Aaron's
Jackie's
like,
top 8ing.
Yeah, Aaron's
GPs.
like, I still got it.
Yeah. What do you think he's thinking right now? He's like, this is not as skill-intensive as Team Rochester.
Yeah, that's what he's always thinking. I mean, and he's right.
It's like she's content to just replay the shaman.
Yeah.
Pass back.
Ian is out of cards, right?
He's out of cards, but he has made this into...
She doesn't...
Now, he can transform back to a flyer,
Right.
right?
And that looks like what
that's
he's going
going
to
to
do.
do.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, it's,
it cannot be blocked.
so now it's a 3-turn clock.
Right. Let's see what he drew here.
Something.
Divination would be ideal.
Claustrophobia. number
Claustrophobia
2.
would be fine. It is.
It is. Yep, on the near heath.
And that's going to allow him to attack with it.
Now I bet you he's like, damn it. I wish I
Yes.
hadn't transformed.
Yes, but it's during your upkeep. This is not lethal.
This,
This is 5 damage. But if he's got a creature or 2 in his yard, then
Block your deranged.
just might not want to block.
there, in this turn, she blocks the range assistant.
And he doesn't have the mana to cast the guy.
She goes 2. So she would be at 3, by the way, if she blocked that last
Yeah,
turn.
that's true. Which is relevant.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's another turn. So she took this line that led her down a longer game path, but with a lot more to do in the next turn. And Ian's managed to, she's going to scoop, managed to punish her for it with Grasp of Fear.
Yeah.
That was kind of the key interaction. I can't help but feel like he kind of stole that game. Like,
Yeah.
Do everything.
one of the big keys was him transforming.
Yeah.
Making a 5/5.
And just really being able to just throw his weight around there in the red zone.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to get a bubble game here out of our Death Pod semifinal.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last call to sign up for the 4 p.m. two-headed giant for state.
Yeah, it just felt like she was so close to being able to just like burn them out with Wild Hunger, and she just like went down that road, and then it was kind of like, you know, when you're like walking around a neighborhood, and then you cross the street, and suddenly you just go like, hey, you know, it was really kind of, it was nice about a block ago, and suddenly I don't feel very comfortable, and you're like, where am I?
Yep.
You know, she was just kind of like,
because I think, you know, the way that she set up that board, she could untap and kill him, but grasp happens.
is that Devil's Play or is that Burning Oil?
I think that's a Burning Oil. It's kind of funny to think they're playing for the privilege of facing down
the
one
honor.
Turton wall.
The honor
with
of Owen.
An excellent deck.
Yeah.
And when you sit down to face Owen, well, how's the pod been for you so far? And he says, well, I beat Luis and I beat Ifro, so how's it going for you?
Yeah. I mean,
you can't figure your chances are that.
I really like, honestly, for like, it's the ultimate deck for this booth. Right? It has all the blue-white beatdown you love,
I love it.
with all the graveyard synergy.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the Reese's peanut butter cup of Innistrad Dark Ascension draft decks for us. You know, just
we're
like
both so giddy.
blue-white self-mill. Oh my God!
I'm so happy.
Especially for veterans.
This is pretty
I'm
good.
beating you down and stocking my graveyard with value.
Yeah. Oh, so dreamy.
You actually recorded Owen's draft, right, Rashad? Or no? Ifro and Conley. So just the two deaders. Yeah. Dad and
They were
Dad.
sitting next to each other. That's interesting.
Tweedleded and Tweedlededder. No, don't blame me, man.
Thanks, Rashad. Rashad just gave us a gift of a zombie token. Or if it comes into play tapped. Looks like Jackie was just getting a final counter deck.
Yeah.
It's a smart thing to do.
Sure.
Just occasionally.
You count your opponent's deck when you shuffle them?
Yeah, when I pile shuffle it, I count it. I've gotten him twice on 61, and I said, and he's like, yeah, it's 61. Like, come on. Like, you see the 41.
You just got him a little, you got a little shamer.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, I thought I was, I'm like,
Hey, when did Missy won Puerto Kyoto? 61.
Okay. But that
He's like,
it's Gabriel Nassif. He gets to do that.
He can afford to swing a weighted bat.
He's...
So Jackie goes immediately down to 6.
Yeah.
She like picks up her hand and just like starts shuffling it
She did
immediately.
not like it at
It was a clear mulligan. I was like, we got some updates from the other tables coming in. So
it looks like Ian's also mulligan, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So Jeff Cunningham won his match. He's 11-3.
Okay.
So really fighting for a top 16 there at that point.
Okay.
But go Dennis Vitageras, also 11-3. He won over Devin Lowe, former head of Magic Development.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. And now he's back here battling?
He still lives in Seattle, works for another game company here in Seattle. And
apparently knows how to play Magic.
Yeah, I mean, he was a formidable player in his day. Ben Stark beat Michael Jacob.
Okay.
So
Ben's still alive, and is Michael Jacob?
No, I believe that puts Michael Jacob down to 11-3.
Okay.
That's 8 straight wins for Ben Stark, by the way, who started the event 1-2. So he had 3 buys, then went 1-2. So he's 4-2. And now he's rattled off 8 straight wins.
And he's one away
from top 8.
From being in the top 8.
Yeah.
from drafting in top 8 for a GP title.
Yeah.
He's on fire.
So Ben Stark's got his Pro Tour title,
Yeah.
but he still has not. He's had a couple of Grand Prix second places.
Does it feel like he's due?
Well, I mean, he got his Pro Tour win, so it's hard to,
Okay.
But he,
But
I know.
saying, that's what I mean, though. The guys won a Pro Tour.
Yeah, he would. I think he'd like to
There's
win a Grand Prix.
GPs are all limited. Like
He
it's in his
finished
wheelhouse the whole
second
time.
in Boston to Martin Egolf
Okay.
in a match that I think
That was
Ben
limited?
was limited.
Uh-huh.
Was that M11 limited or M12 limited?
Okay.
One or the other. And I think he really felt like he should have won it. And then he lost at the beginning of last year to Jason Ford. Jackie's going down to 5.
Going to 5.
He lost to Jason Ford in the finals of Grand Prix Atlanta at the start of last year.
Oh, okay. So he's not going to do that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Always.
Always, yeah, exactly.
Is that a co-wall?
That is. You see Mark Roder? There's Devin Lowe right there.
That's Devin Lowe, and
that's
there's
Devin
Mark
Lowe.
Rosewater as
Yeah.
well. Look at these guys.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, man, we really screwed up Magic, huh?
Stalwarts
We
of the-
destroyed it.
Yeah. Look at the cackles.
Yeah. They might as well go play checkers.
Yeah. Jackie somewhat reluctantly keeps here.
Is
Did
that
she end up
4?
going to 4?
Yeah, it does look
It
like
does
she
look
went
like
to
she
4.
went to 4. Alright, she draws a Wild Hunger with no creatures. She needs a creature pretty desperately to start getting into the game. So she's eager to draw. When we have Diagraph Captain come down for Ian and another land for Jackie, if she starts drawing spells, she's going to be able to play them. She's got another land in her hand as well, so she'll be able to cast basically anything in her deck, but she's going to need to have a pretty sick run of spells here to get herself out of this. Looks like the Screeching Bat's going to come down here. I also saw a Sea Kite in Ian's hand, so he's got action coming up for the next few turns at least. And Jackie has drawn Riot Doubles. That's fine. She can protect it and she can pump it. She can get some damage in with it, but she's going to need a lot of help here. We'll see if Ian decides to attack. He does. It's got Death Touch, so it'll
Yeah,
trade.
why wouldn't you trade?
Yeah, I don't know how many zombies he's got. He did transform his vampires, as you can see. And she's going to just take the trade. The Death Touch.
Well, what do you do? Take 2 and then trade next turn?
Yeah, you take it. You've got a Crossway Vampire here. She's got a Ranger's Guile and a Wild Hunger in her hand. She could potentially trade up here. It's a 2. I guess she decides not
It's
to.
down to 8.
She can't cast. Okay, so next turn
Well, she can't
can.
really trade up.
Next turn she can.
Yeah. Is that
Another one.
another Screeching Bat?
Wow. He'll probably just
He'll
continue
just-
to put his mana into these and just say, okay, deal with these and we're good. I think there's a Burning Oil there. Or is that a Devil's Play?
Yeah, that's the quick card we were curious about before.
Yeah. It could also be a Rolling Template, but I don't think it is.
So, Samir Merchant fell this round, by the way.
Oh, he did?
He did, but he fell to Paul Rietzel.
Okay.
So, People's Champion, Paul Rietzel.
He's the People's Champion.
Yeah, people love him. Don't you love him?
I've only met him once, so
Yeah,
I don't really have a feel
I
for
like
the
watching
guy.
him. So he's 12-2. James Nguyen defeats John Finkel this round.
Oh,
John Finkel falls to 11-3.
so we're going to Wild Hunger, and we're going to trade. She's going to go to 3. Jackie
2 for 1s
admits
yourself.
it.
Yeah, I mean, you
yeah,
have to.
out of pure desperation. Yep. But she's got to play it out. So when she gets here,
It is Devil's Play.
it is Devil's Play. Okay, and she has the 3rd mountain to be able to kill another,
Not a Scab Goliath.
not a scab. Trample, and it's 6/9.
And she really needs,
Green, red.
Traitor's Blood fling here.
Yeah, she's got just a Scorn Villager and a Ranger's Guile in her hand. Can she even survive? That's 1. No, she can't. Even if she flashes back, can she? up its toughness by 3, and she's still dead. So she's making sure, and she's going to extend the game.
Could have gone to like.
That was really tough.
Yeah.
Happens.
Ian's like, I'll take it. I don't feel great about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think that's about what I'm reading on his
Like,
face. I like how Jack